All right. David Haye has something to say about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. He's also mentioned something about Deontay Wilder and his punching power versus that of Vladimir Klitschko, and gives him another very, very good big compliment as far as his ability. And it really is going to fly in the face of a lot of the nonsense that has been spread about Deontay Wilder by some UK folk for a while. It's funny when you actually sit down and listen to the people that were there talk, and not videotapes that are bent to make something look a certain way. But let's get into that in this video. All right, well, let's talk about something we already knew. That Deontay Wilder is a very, very big puncher who can take a very, very good shot. Now, David Haye, who was a former cruiserweight champion, I do believe that he fought for the heavyweight championship against, I think he definitely fought against Vladimir Klitschko. Lost to Vladimir Klitschko, I think he got stopped by Vladimir Klitschko. And who had sparred Deontay Wilder in preparation for those fights during the time when he was a heavyweight contender. This was early in Deontay Wilder's career and in the prime of David Haye's career after David Haye moved from cruiserweight to heavyweight, right? Now, there had been for a long time people talking about how David Haye was beating up Deontay Wilder in sparring and, he's trash. And they take this little clip of Deontay Wilder getting hit and taking half a step back as a reason to explain why Deontay Wilder's not a good fighter, and he's, all the stuff that people do to Deontay Wilder, which in my opinion is absolutely ridiculous, man. Man, God dog, it's ridiculous. Paulie Malignaggi, feather-fisted Paulie Malignaggi is the biggest guy with that nonsense, man. Paulie Malignaggi couldn't punch his way out of a brown paper bag, for him, a guy that literally cannot punch his way out of a brown paper bag, to be preaching to a guy with that many knockouts about boxing skill is ridiculous. The number one skill in boxing is that your punch should hurt somebody. Okay? Knowing how to punch is one of the most important things in boxing, I would swear. But Paulie, who couldn't break an egg if you threw it up against a wall and smashed and hit it with a sledgehammer, has a reason to question Deontay Wilder. Anyway, man, every time I think about Paulie Malignaggi, it irks me. But David Haye, talking about Deontay Wilder's punch, said that the fight, he fought Vladimir Klitschko in 10-ounce gloves. He fought Deontay Wilder in 16-ounce gloves. And that Deontay Wilder's punch, which grazed him with 16-ounce gloves, hurt him worse than a punch from Vladimir Klitschko with 10-ounce gloves dead on the chin. That, my friend, tells you that he believes somebody that was in the ring with Deontay Wilder and got hit, and was in the ring with Vladimir Klitschko and got hit, says that Deontay Wilder had much, much more power than Vladimir Klitschko, who is known for being a very, very strong puncher. Vladimir Klitschko didn't have much of a chin, but he dropped that right on you. There's a chance that you were gonna go bye-bye. Okay, so the idea that Deontay Wilder, then that's John Fury that said it couldn't punch, was absolutely ridiculous. But that's what David Haye said. But the thing that really struck me that David Haye said, look, man, he's like, it's not just, the thing with Wilder isn't just his punching power. It's his punch resistance. He said that he has landed flush on Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder got knocked back, looked like his legs were a little wobbly, but he was immediately back at it and coming forward and wanting to fight. So not only can he punch, but the fact that Deontay Wilder can take a punch and come back and start fighting is an exceptional talent. And what David Haye said about Deontay Wilder and his observation in the training camps was, man, this dude is going to be, when he sorts out his boxing, and then David Haye said, like he has done, this guy is going to be something very, very special. Now, what is he talking about that at the time, before he sorted out his boxing, was very, very special? His talent. Those are two things in boxing that I've heard you can't teach. You cannot teach that type of power, and you cannot teach that type of chin. If you got the two things that you can't teach, and are two of the most important things in boxing, and you have him without a lot of experience, that tells you that the guy is immensely, immensely talented. He's blessed offensively with his punching power, and he's also blessed defensively with the chin. Not the greatest footwork in the world and all that type of stuff. People can say that, that's fine. But the ability to take a punch is a major, major thing in boxing. And you could look at it like with Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, in the early part of his career, when did he turn pro? 1960 to 1967. That title reign, I think he won it. He might have won it in 1963. But during that whole time, people were like, no, does he have a chin? All he had, does he have a chin? What's he going to do when somebody gets and hits him? And because he was so quick that people couldn't really land a lot of good shots on him. But what happens in the 1970s when his foot speed decreases? Then you get to see on display his chin. And because he had the chin, and he had the ability, and he had the hand speed and the ability to throw fast punches, and he was smart and he was strong, he won and beat a lot of guys off of his ability to take punishment. Now, that's not what you want to do primarily, and I'm not making the argument that is, but Deontay Wilder, you could see his ability to take punches in the fight with Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is not a soft puncher. Luis Ortiz is a heavy-handed and awkward fighter because the dude's a southpaw. His punches are coming from the opposite side. So everything that you're trained to do, typically you're trained to do it with people that are coming from the orthodox stance, and you prepare for that. He was able to think through and handle that with the best southpaw heavyweight that there has been since Michael Moore, easy. And I think Luis Ortiz probably would have beaten Michael Moore. But Michael Moore was a good southpaw heavyweight back in the mid-90s. I think that was in the mid-90s. Michael Moore was trained. I think he was trained by Teddy Atlas. He's the one that is famous for getting knocked out by George Foreman. When George Foreman did what? Landed that heavy right hand on that top of that dude's head, man. And Deontay Wilder is the type of guy that can do what George Foreman did to Michael Moore. Michael Moore was winning the fight, showing his boxing skills, bop, 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 and then boom, boom, lights out, fight over. And that's pretty much what happened to Tyson Fury in that last fight with Deontay Wilder, with the only exception being is that Jack Reese went out of his way to make sure the dude had plenty of time to get up and plenty of time to recover because, hey, as Jack Reese said, it was for the good of boxing that Tyson Fury get up. That would be good for boxing. Now, I don't know exactly how it is a referee's job to determine what's good for boxing in the middle of a boxing match, but hey, man, how do you explain it? So, all in all, man, I thought that was interesting observation. But again, like I said, this is stuff that we all already knew. Now, Tyson Fury obviously has a lot of good qualities about him as a boxer. He's very shifty. I do believe he's got a lot of courage. I think and you can listen to his father talk and understand why he might behave the way that he behaves, because his father is a very aggressive, very in your face type of guy. So just to grow up with John Fury, man, you're going to have some intestinal fortitude, man. That's just for real. Like when his father tried to bully Deontay Wilder try to point at Deontay and try to intimidate Deontay Wilder. Like, I'll come down there and Deontay Wilder was looking at him. Yeah, man. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Look, dude, just stay away from me before I have to separate you from your senses. But I do believe that Tyson Fury probably got a lot of that personality, a lot of that stuff from his dad. But at the same time, man, that could be a weakness, because if it's really not there, you can see why he might want to tap out on boxing. And man, I would just ducking rematches and stuff like that. And those guys, because those guys are, I think to a certain extent, people are forcing Tyson Fury into that situation, but he's just very, very talented. Anyway, I got off topic a little bit, so we'll wrap it up here. Hey, thank you guys so much, everybody, for subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hey, please accept my invitation to subscribe. Also, thank you to everybody that supports on the Patreon and everybody that supports in the live streams that we do Monday through Friday, OG Boxing Talk, and the channel members. Much love to all y'all. And with that, we're out. Peace.